let's have a watch of this campaign video by Sir Keir Starmer and Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London. Is that big enough, Alex? Can you see it with your old eyes?
F off, Darren.
And
What's that? What are they doing?
Thank you, Keir.
It's
I
Eid.
thought
It's
they
a
were gonna
really
kiss.
important time for the Muslim community. So I just wanted to ask you how you and your family actually celebrate Eid.
We all go to the mosque in the morning. We have something sweet to eat in the morning, and then it's a day you spend with your family, visiting family and friends. It's a day of celebration.
Hajj is so important, and many people will be coming back from that.
Well, Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Every Muslim who can afford to do so once in a lifetime is required to go to Mecca, and many of your constituents and people across the country have been going to Mecca to perform pilgrimage, and they're returning now after Hajj.
But there is this theme coming up, which is about the problem with visas. And obviously, you know, if we are able to come in and form a government, I think we're going to have to increase the quota. Have you picked this up as well?
The Saudi government has reduced
that's
the
what we
irony.
need. Visas with
able to go
Saudi.
to Hajj from this country. So many who want to go, who can afford to go,
And it's
can't
such a
go.
big and important thing that there's a real frustration that people are not being able to go.
So anything we can do to
dramatic
lobby the Saudi
violin
government to
music.
get more places for British Muslims would be appreciated.
Because it's Eid, it is
Piano.
also a time, I think, where all of us are able to celebrate the, you know, incredible contribution that Muslims have made to our country. We see it in business, we see it in culture.
We've seen
we
it since
see
October
a better
7th.
Britain. One of the things that is coming up over and over again is Islamophobia. And, well, you can see the stats, you can see the numbers rising, particularly since October the 7th. Although we shouldn't fall into the trap of thinking that before October the 7th, this was all heading in the right direction. It's been far too high for far too long. Clearly, we need to just say over and over again, Islamophobia is intolerable. It can never, ever be justified. And we have to continue with a zero tolerance approach. And I think there's more we can do in government. There's certainly stuff online, which I think needs tackling.
Yeah,
much
online,
more
your speech, they're
robustly than
coming
it
for
is
your
at the moment.
speech,
What I'm hoping, Keir, is your
Islamophobia, in
experience
the
as a
name of your
prosecutor
speech.
means you'll be thinking about the strategy we can use to make sure we take action against those who break the law.
There's a massive impact on people and their lives, their feeling about being able to walk around their own, you know, communities, their streets, their places of work or wherever it may be.
He's nodding his head.
It's
What's he
certainly
done
not
to
low level.
London?
It
Is
really,
London
really impacts
safe?
people. I've seen so many cases for myself.
What excites me, though, is I've been campaigning across the country. We've got so many
I
Labour
bet he's
candidates who are
excited.
Muslim, who are Hindu, who are Sikh,
Yeah.
who are Jewish, who are Christian. I think, you know, our candidates are the most diverse we've ever had.
Oh,
The
whoop-de-doo!
best team I think the Labour Party has ever put forward for an election. But look, this is a time of great celebration, and you know, I do say Eid Mubarak, my friend, and thank you for sharing with me how you celebrate with your family. My very best wishes to you, to the whole Muslim community, and Eid al-Adha.
Thank you, Keir. Thanks very much.
Right, so
Oh, it's so
I'm just
cringe
off
hearing
to
you
be
try to
sick.
pronounce these
Exact.
words.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
It's vomit inducing. It really, really
Oh,
is.
my goodness.
But that,
Yeah.
you know, one of the
Not
comments.
again, not again, please.
No, I'm not
Just
playing it
pause
again.
it then.
Alex says anti-Semitism is fine, though. Starmer, and this is all. You would, it just knocks me sick. Actually, it really, really does. He's talking about, you know, diversity is our strength. Islamophobia is the problem. You know, it's the right wing people. We need to tackle their speech online. They're saying nasty things about people. They're saying that their country's going in the wrong direction, and that actually, you know, partly to blame for that is the insurgents of Islam. And I think that's irrefutable. I think we do have a real problem with radical Islam in this country. And Younes, I'm very keen to know what your takeaway is from that vomit-inducing video.
I mean, Keir Starmer is the biggest virtue signaling idiot I've ever seen in my whole life. I can just tell he doesn't know the first thing about Islam. And he just sat there nodding his head like a lapdog and trying to get the Islamic vote. But let me say a few things to Mr. Keir Starmer. First of all, who decides what's Islamophobic? If I question certain parts of Quran or Hadiths or life of Muhammad, am I Islamophobic and should I come off that? I come from a Muslim background. I have family members that are Muslim. So you're going to stop me from having a educated opinion, something that Keir Starmer doesn't have, and the word Islamophobia is a made-up word because phobia means fearing something without evidence. Islam has reason to believe. If you read the Quran, like I have many times, multiple times, and I think I had a copy here actually somewhere, I don't know where it is, but I have read the Quran multiple times, and there's a lot of call to action. There's a lot of call to jihad. There's a lot of call to Christians and Jews being killed. There's a lot of call to forcing Islam and Islamification of the whole world. And that's just the Quran. Then you look at the Hadiths, which is 100 times worse than the Quran. Then you have the life of Muhammad, which took part in 29 offensive battles and killed thousands of people personally. Okay? So if you come and speak about that, which is historic truth, and factual truth, are you considered Islamophobic? And what constitutes hate speech? That's the age-long question.
Yeah.
And that's what they do to stop freedom of speech. Okay? No idea, and I don't mean just Islam, any idea, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, communism, capitalism, whatever you name it, nothing is beyond questioning, nothing is beyond criticism. And that's not hate speech, that's freedom of speech. Something which Keir Starmer doesn't understand.
Yes, I mean, I've been accused, as Alex well knows, of Islamophobia over recent days, and you know, if you were to criticize Christianity in the same way, then you would be absolutely fine. But if you do it about Islam, Islam is completely beyond reproach, and that's not healthy for democratic consensus, Alex.
Yes, absolutely. And do you know what's super concerning about this, guys? And most people, look, we haven't seen the effects of this policy yet, but the online safety bill that went through, it earlier this year or late last year? This is going to hand powers to organizations like Ofcom. And what the bill does, it makes these platforms like Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook accountable for what people post on them. And so not only will these platforms be forced under new laws that the Labour Party will put in, and I guarantee they will put a lot of social policy forward in this next Parliament, it will make you and your platform accountable and to be held legally accountable for what you say, which means they're going to clamp down on your freedom of speech online quite dramatically. You know, all those bots who go on when GB News is on TV and they start spamming Ofcom as soon as they hear something they don't like. They literally watch it to spam Ofcom. You're going to get them on the internet too. So this is an extremely dangerous Orwellian future we're headed to. And you can imagine with a super majority of whatever it is, hundreds of 500 seats or more, even 450 seats that Labour are going to get, somebody and a big group of them will be pushing for this censorship.
Yeah, and Jo has a good point. She agrees with Younes. Jo says on YouTube, she says all hate speech laws are a threat to democracy, and I do agree with that. I've always been confused around hate crime laws and all these other things, and I'm the proud recipient of a non-crime hate incident, by the way. But at the hate crime legislation, it makes no difference to me if I've been battered because I'm gay or I've been battered just for being battered. You know, I've been assaulted all the same. I don't know what my who I go to bed with, what that has to do with the fact that someone has just broken the law. The whole thing, this panoply of hate crime legislation, is just making life more miserable and impossible in a quagmire of identity politics. That's what this all is. Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.